Race car here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and we are just about set to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the CarQuest 150 at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We are set to go. The modified tour rumbles its way out of turn 4. Billy Leda lets him go, and we're off and running. It is John Preston to lead the field down into turn number 1. Preston with car number 72, the Wyalusing Hotel-sponsored race car, brings them down the back straightaway. Running in the second spot is Doug Hebron in car number 3. Then it is Jan Leedy and Satch Worley as the field begins to stretch itself out just a bit around the half mile. Jeff Fuller, car number 8. Reggie Ruggiero, the 75 of Carl Pasteryak. That's how they shape up as they complete the first of 150 circuits of this half-mile racetrack. John Preston, out in front, has been running very, very impressively all year long. Finds himself leading the early stages of this, the CarQuest 150 at Stafford.
Number 3 car, Everett, looking for a way around. He's put his nose underneath a couple of times, but has not found the door yet. They're trying to settle in, get their tires warmed up, find out exactly which part of the racetrack is going to work the best. Although they've been out, they've run under time, they've run at speed, things have changed a little bit. Temperature's gone down, the humidity's come up. So it'll take a couple of laps for the tires to set in, then we're going to see some real nice. In addition to 150 laps, we're going to have to do some pit stops. So everything is going to hinge on the driving, the weather, and the ability of the guys on the pit road to get the cars in and out when they come in for tires and adjustments.
Keep in mind, 75 is the magic number. We must reach lap 75 for this to be a complete show. Hebron now takes a peek underneath and makes the move as Preston really puts the throttle down and blasts all the way down that 550-foot back straightaway. Off the turn, we've got a battle for position number 4 as Jeff Fuller and Satch Worley really dies it out. Fuller picks up the spot. Here comes Hebron again. The challenge down low. Jan Leedy seems very, very content to ride it out in third for the moment. Jeff Fuller looking for yet another win on the tour for 19 and 92. Fuller has been the hot combination for this season thus far. He goes into this race as the points leader. Doug Hebron in old blue, the Lenny Bowler machine, looks to take away the lead.
Number 69, Ruggiero, sits in 5th position, just coming off the win in New Hampshire. He's on a roll, the car is set up just the way he likes it, and he's going to go after the lead as soon as things settle down a bit.
Fuller, who has 5 wins already this year, challenges Jan Leedy off of turn 2. Leedy is able to motor ahead on the back straightaway. He maintains the position number 3. Fuller holds on for 4th. 5th is Satch Worley, followed by Reggie Ruggiero, Carl Pasteryak, Wayne Anderson, and Conley in that order. But the surprise of the night has to be John Preston, car number 72 out of Wyalusing, Pennsylvania. John, having competed at this racetrack only a few times, has found the hot setup.
It's amazing, after just a few laps of practice and 3 laps of time trials, he was able to get the car dialed in. And right now, he's really running very, very well.
Of course, probably one of the winningest car owners ever here at the Speedway. Owns that car that's in the second spot, Len Bowler. And Lenny certainly knows the setup for this racetrack. The same could be said about the ownership of car number 15, Mike Stefanik. The Cazella family has had a car racing at this track since the 1960s.
Experience definitely pays off when it comes to designing and setting up an automobile. When you're running with guys like this that run together all the time and are running premium equipment, all tracks all over the United States, the old notebook and the computer really come into play when it comes to setting up a car, because you arrive at a track, you got to get your gear out, you got to lay the car up, make the adjustments to the chassis, get out, run a few laps, come back, fine-tune it, and then race. We're talking a long way to go. The strategy is not...
The 8 of Fuller, the 69 of Ruggiero, the 4 of Satch Worley, the 75 of Carl Pasteryak, the 16 of Wayne Anderson, 42, Tim Connolly, the 15, Mike Stefanik, the 1, Tommy Bowles, the 39 of Bruce D'Alessandro. Car number 09, Brian Schofield, slowing considerably on the back straightaway. He now seems to be back up to speed. Same for Wade Dave Cole in car number 33. Passing flag also given to Dan Avery in car number 10 as the rest of the field rumbles on by. Avery, the first car to go down the circuit.
Later on, as we start to get into lap traffic, this is when the veteran drivers are really going to be able to show their stuff by setting themselves up in the right position of the track to get around the smaller cars and slower cars.
Preston and Hebron. George Fernhozel, car number 28, that's the white car, about halfway back through the pack, slowing considerably on the back straightaway as a lot of smoke is emerging from the right-hand side of that race car. He knows it, takes it down pit road. It'll be a short night for George Fernhozel. Car number 28 as he pulls into his pit area. Jeff Fuller, Reggie Ruggiero, sitting back there just waiting. 21 laps up on the Winston Racing Series scoreboard here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It is John Preston. Preston and Preston logging in the Wyalusing Hotel, sponsor this number 72 Chevrolet.
There doesn't seem to be too much movement back in the field either. Everyone's pretty much settled in. There's a change for 7th position.
We mentioned Brian Schofield in trouble a few laps ago. Well, apparently he is in trouble as he too has pulled into the pit area. So 2 cars that are either out or are going to be way off the pace. The 28 of George Fernhozel, the 09 of Brian Schofield.
Gonna get Barry to go by and take a look, see what's going on down there, and let us know what kind of maladies have affected these cars.
Well, he will do that in just a matter of moments. Barry Simons will have the information for us at the first caution. Car number 09, Brian Schofield, and the 28 of George Fernhozel. Back to the front of this pack. We are coming up on lap 25. And the leader continues to be Johnny Preston. Back in 1988, when he started running the Tour, he started only 2 races. Went up to 5 in 89. 13 all last year, and thus far this year, he has run all 12.
Number 69 car, Ruggiero, putting a lot of pressure on Fuller now. He's looking for a way around him, but being very, very cautious. Gets up close to him and backs off to him so he has enough room in case anything goes on ahead of him. But he's been probing for the last few laps, and his car seems to be working very, very well. He's actually taken the high line a couple of times around, and again, sets up on a higher groove. But Fuller is able to hold him off, or Reggie just being very coy. Now Reggie drops down the inside, and we have a spin. They have 2 cars in the infield. Mike McLaughlin, one of them. And that brings out the yellow flag, and that'll tighten the entire field up again. Oh, we had a move on 4th place. That was pretty much negated by a spin. Everyone's been restarted. It doesn't appear to be any damage, but the flag's out. We're going to check the track and we'll tighten the field up.
There's been great anticipation all night, and yes, boys and girls, moms and dads, preferably dads, they have arrived. The Hummel girls are here. They have arrived via white limousine, which is located on the Midway, right directly across from the Big D novelty booth. So you can stop and say hello to the Hummel girls. And it is John Preston starting on the pole. A great time trial for Preston tonight. We're told to cross over and be ready for a restart. Behind Mike Stefanik is Tim Connolly, Wayne Anderson. Unless you climb the fence. If you are the owner of mass registration 616LOG. Pace car with Peter Locke on board dives into the infield. Looks like we're just about set. Billy Leda points to turn 4. Here they come. We wind them up, let them go. One more time. And it is a drag race to turn number 1. Preston on the inside. Hebron on the high side. Preston once again grabs the advantage. Jan Leedy tries to move in on the inside to pick up that second spot from Doug Hebron, and he does it. Reggie Ruggiero tried to follow suit, but Hebron slammed the door in turn number 3. The 8 of Jeff Fuller also trying to get toward the front of this pack.
That was a real nice pass. Set him up very well. Watched him for half a lap and then moved underneath very cleanly. Fuller's dropped back. Ruggiero has moved up one spot on him. Reggie now running in fourth place. Stefanik also moving up very well. Currently running in sixth spot. We have a yellow flag. We can't see what's going on.
Got somebody. Back out, and as they exit turn number 4, the deflection of this one certainly is changed. And Leedy jumps out in front with car number 25. The Reg runs in second spot. Preston is back to the third position, and fourth is car number 3 for Doug Hemron.
Leedy, the fast qualifier, took a nice jump off the line. And he's right back to those fast laps that he did earlier in the day. And Reg has just been sneaking up one spot at a time, now sits in second spot. It'll be interesting to see if they can run away from the field. If we stay green for a number of laps, these guys are going fast enough they can put the distance between themselves and the rest of the pack.
The last 2 times that the modified tour was here, Jeff Fuller was by far the class of the field, although he did not come home as the winner. We'll see if, in fact, he has... We've got a spin over in turn 4 that Tommy Baldwin, car number 7. And we'll see if he is refired. He does, so we'll stay under green.
There was no contact that time.
But Baldwin finds himself now way off the base with 40 laps up on the scoreboard. Meantime, back up front, it is Leedy, followed by the 69 of Ruggiero, Johnny Preston, the 3 of Hemron. A great run tonight for Tim Conley, car number 42. The 15 of Stefanik, the 44 of Rick Fuller. Now, Rick started deep in the pack and now finds himself right up in the thick of this thing to challenge.
Conley, the number 42 car, he started 16 times, has yet to win one.
Auto Parts, car number 25, out in front.
Jan's got 91 starts under his belt, 2 wins. He's finished in the top 5, a total of 24 times in the top 10, 39. So he's a consistent guy. He gets some clear running room, and he's hard to get around. But number 69, the Reg, is right there. You can't get any closer than that.
As soon as we have a very quick Reggie into turn 3. Leedy on the outside. Ruggiero down low. Off the turn and at the line, a new leader emerges. It is the Reg. Reg takes command at the completion of laps concerning the pit stops and those cars that are out of the race and what the reason is for their dropping.
So during the spring sizzler here, Reggie had a real tough break. They couldn't get a wheel off. He went down a whole lap. Managed to make the lap back up, but he was not able to go on for the win. So he's really looking for a win here tonight.
Nearly 1/3 of this 150-lap grind, the CarQuest 150, is by the board. And we have had 2 leaders, John Preston, Jan Lee.
He's a real focused guy. You know, you get around him when he's getting his car ready, and you talk to him, and you can really tell that the guy is so concentrated on what he's doing. He kind of blocks everything else out. He drives the same way. He sees only what's 10 or 15 car lengths ahead of him, and doesn't worry about what's behind him.
One driver that seems to be a little bit off the base tonight is Zach Worley in the Mystic River Marina, car number 4. The Rocky Mount, Virginia native. not running right with the leaders in this particular event. Reggie gets hooked up with Tom Baldwin for just a second. Car number 42. So a tough break for Tim Conley as he finds himself headed for the pit area. Reggie Ruggiero, of course, with many, many, many wins here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. In fact, a track championship year dating back to 1983. $522,000 in winnings. And you'd like to add another sweet chunk of change tonight out of this $42,000 purse for the modified tour.
Without losing position on the track, you don't have much time on a half mile under the green to do anything. We're looking at Reggie. From his past performance, he's track champion of Monadnock in 79, Riverside 79, Stafford, as you said, 83, Riverside 84, Monadnock 88, and Riverside 88. And he's had 24 tour victories.
That makes him the winningest driver of the tour, by the way.
This is tough competition. This is competition these drivers can go from to drive other genres, other formats of racing. A lot of these guys just love the atmosphere and the camaraderie and stay here, but there's no doubt in my mind that he could jump into an Indy car and be very dangerous for the rest of the competition.
Reggie is an extremely talented driver, and I think the word that you used earlier aptly describes him, and that is focused, because he is indeed a very, very focused individual. All right, so the laps continue to tick away. We're at lap number 61, and it looks like it is time for at least a tire change, maybe a chassis adjustment. Crew is looking that car over very, very closely. All right, so Bowles is back out with car number 1.
He lost a couple of laps in that stop, but I guess the handling was getting to the point where he really needed to get in and take a look at it. They changed the setup on the rear suspension of the car, hopefully to make it steer a little bit better.
So the Reg is really beginning to open it up now to a point where he has about a half a straightaway lead over Dan Leading, John Preston, and Doug Hebron. Hebron takes a quick look to the outside of the Preston car. Does not choose to make a move that time as they begin to put the 77 down a lap. Steve Park also is off the pace tonight considerably with that car. Here comes Leading. Let's see if we can give you a rundown on this one. Tom Baldwin, car number 7, way off the pace. Consultation flag has been given to Baldwin, so he will head to the pit area. Satch Worley a little bit loose that time off of turn number 4. Conley is back out with car number 42. As Fuller takes a peek to the inside of Leedy, and boy, they almost made contact in turn 1. The 3 of Hebron also got very loose in turn 1.
Yeah, we're getting to the point now where the surface of the tires is starting to wear off of it. You're going to see some real tactics now.
Hebron is backpedaling with that race car, and he is going to be praying for a pit stop very, very quickly.
Very nicely moves around 4 lap cars. Well, he's kind of followed up for the second there. There he goes.
Reggie now with a full straightaway advantage over John Preston. A second place finish for John Preston tonight would be absolutely tremendous. We've reached the halfway point. 75 down, 75 to go.
Well, Fuller's moved up another spot. Number 8 car is now running in 3rd place.
Off the turn and back down they come. Fuller, Stefanik leading Hebron, Rick Fuller, as Tom Baldwin comes back out into the competition. Steve Park also returns with car 77. Steve Park, of course, his biggest NASCAR win was the Winston 300 2 years ago. Passing flag displayed to Carl Pastriak and Dwayne Anderson. They make it by.
Anderson's tucked right in behind Reggie. He's trying to unlap himself. He's actually making time, and Reggie sticks a nose underneath as they go into turn number 3.
This is always interesting as you try to watch a driver pick up a lap on the leader. All right, so with 80 up on the scoreboard, let's see if we can give you the rundown. Here we go. It is Reggie Ruggiero in first, John Preston in second, third is Jeff Fuller, fourth is Mike Stefanik. In the 5th position is Doug Hebron, followed by 44 of Rick Fuller. In 6th, 7th is Jamie Tomeno, 8th is Chris Amon, 9th is Jan Leedy. 10th place would then be the 11th. That may be it. Probably Bob Park is the only other one still on the lead lap. We'll check to see if Bob Park is down a lap, but I don't believe he is. So that would make Bob Park the last car on the lead lap, car number 19.
Anderson, number 16, has unlapped himself. He's gone around Ruggiero on the outside.
Chances are Reggie spoofed the radio to him and said, let him go, because he was all over the rear bumper of the Reg.
He has almost 3/4 of a lap lead now. Similar situation where Fuller was out almost a half a lap lead and just cruising along, and all of a sudden we got a yellow flag and everything changing. He staggered the tires incorrectly and it was all over the racetrack for the remaining 50 laps.
Well, as they say, it ain't over till it's over.
That's correct.
And we've only got 85 of 150 in the books thus far.
The crews are more
managed to run away and hide here tonight. It is incredible, but it is true. This is definitely his race. But we must keep in mind what Tony just mentioned, that it appeared that way for the Sizzler as well, with Jeff Fuller. And we'll just have to wait until lap 150 rolls around.
This segment of the race is probably the most dangerous. Everyone's kind of set into a pattern. The tires are starting to wear down a little bit. It just takes one little hiccup, one little brain fade moment to get yourself in trouble. And especially now that the cars are lighter because they've got less fuel in them. The rubber is not quite as sticky as when they started out. So this is now when the professionals really are the ones that shine, because they can stay there. They know how to maintain the throttle in order to keep the lap speed up without endangering the car or their position.
That can be pretty tough, because you've seen a lot of these drivers backpedal in the process. Look at the 91 up on the scoreboard. It is still Reggie Ruggiero way out in front, as in major league lead. course, in contact with pit crew. And you have to wonder if they're beginning to wonder, maybe this thing might end up going green to the end. If it does, will he stay out there? It wouldn't be the first time someone has run 150 laps on this racetrack without pitting.
They've got the fuel capacity. It depends on how hard they have to run. Right now, it appears everyone's pretty much into a pace that they can probably get through it. It depends. It's going to be kind of close.
Now there's an example. Tony Ferrante off of turn 4. Looses the proverbial goose with tires that are just plain worn. Jeff Fuller, who has run so well all year, zeroing in on that 100-lap mark with 95 of the scoreboard. And the final 50 to go. Doug Hevron and Jamie Tomato. Very close quarters racing action. Off of turn 4 and down through 1 and 2. We'll see if we can give you a quick rundown on lap 100 as to who is doing what and where they are running. Your leader, of course, is car number 69, Reggie Ruggiero. Continue to tick away. And now on the Auto Palace Pontiac, the defending modified champion, once again has Lady Luck bail out. And Stefanik has to go all the way around and will end up in the pit area. Tough break for Mike Stefanik, who is running so well here tonight. Lap number 99. Next time by, we'll see if we can give you a rundown. It is Reggie Ruggiero out in front, Fuller, and fifth would be Jamie Tomato in the U2. Doug is not flat. Hevron. So those cars on the lead lap are now down to a precious few. And Reggie Ruggiero is showing everybody the short way around this half-mile racetrack. I think if we check Reggie's odometer, he's got this dialed in as a quarter-mile racetrack. So he's going up on the scoreboard. Black flag has been extended to, and we're not sure because the light is not on down at turn 1. We'll have to check next time by. It's possible there could have been a pit infraction for Mike Stefanik. Let's check on that. Black flag does not come out that fast.
Stefanik's been in and out of the pits with fresh tires. Was able to get one lap back from Reggie Ruggiero.
And we've got problems up in turn number 4. Tommy Bowles goes around and almost took out Reggie Ruggiero in the process. Reggie just went down by. He's all set. Oh yeah, he got away.
Yeah, Reggie tangled up there and got sideways, but was able to maintain it. And
some heart-stopping moments for Reggie Ruggiero. And this is not what Mike Stefanik wanted to see. Stefanik had been on lap 81. Okay, we'll get back to you in just a second because here we go. We've got the pit stops coming down, and this could be the race right here. Reggie Ruggiero is the first one in. Jeff Fuller right behind him. The 31 of Ferrante, the 77 of Park. Everybody nice and easy down pit road. Satch Worley is in. Carl Pastriak, Rick Fuller. Now those in the lead lap, not necessarily in this order, are Reggie Ruggiero, Jamie Tomato, John Preston, Rick Fuller, Doug Hevron, and we believe Wayne Anderson is now in there. Lap. Okay, the first car out is Reg. He is the first unlapped race car out of the pit area.
Fuller's still sitting there. They've got problems with that car. Now they're down off the jacks.
Now Rick Fuller is out next, Wayne Anderson and Jeff Fuller. So that puts Reggie, theoretically, the first one out, followed by Rick, Wayne, and Jeff.
He found obviously the handling was not good, the obvious reason.
The infield pit area. Trackside Magazine is going to present the Dick Traynor Trucking Keep On Trucking Award to a driver that they feel exhibits outstanding performance, and a one.
That'll be at the winner's circle.
Had been down a lap, but he got a lap back on the accident. So that is the word from NASCAR. Reggie Ruggiero, these are the cars, let's put it this way, these are the cars on the lead lap. The 39, the 69, the 44, the 2, meaning the U2, the 8, the 72, and the 3. Doug Hevron and Jeff Fuller. That's the way it shapes up.
Now, the light is off, pace car, and the pace is picking up, and we are racing.
Green flag back out. Here they come. Mike Stefanik brings the field down into turn number 1. Now keep in mind that Stefanik is down a lap. He's got a long way to go to make this baby up.
He did manage to unlap himself one lap, but he's still got a long way to go.
Back off of 4. Bruce D'Alessandro, Start Finish Productions, car number 39, out in front. Reggie Ruggiero in the 69, runs in the second spot. Tom Baldwin, who is also down a lap, trying to get his back.
Reggie's got 2 cars between himself and D'Alessandro, and does not seem to be closing up the gap that much.
But he still has about 31 laps to do it. All right, he manages to get by Steve Park to turn 1. He'll now set his sights on the 7 of Tom Baldwin. Mike Stefanik would give his kingdom for a caution right now.
Baldwin's given Reggie everything he needs. Well, Reggie powered around him on the outside. I was going to say he was holding him up, but Reggie's now got his sights set on the lead again.
Tucked right in on the rear bumper of Bruce Dell. Off the turn, here he comes, back down to the line. As they head for turn 1, it's Reggie all over again. Certainly didn't take him long to get back out in front. 6 laps, and he was back in the lead. So it is Reggie Ruggiero, back out front, Bruce D'Alessandro, runs next. In the 3rd spot is car number 3 for Doug Hevron. And in 4th is Jeff Fuller in car number 8. Doug Hevron manages to move in and pick up that 2nd spot.
Very handily, and Fuller is moving up now also to challenge.
Car number 44, Rick Fuller, off the pace, in fact, very quickly. Ricky brings the car right down into the infield. No pit road for this boy. He knows he's out of it.
Tough break. He was running real well tonight.
Fuller. So it is Reggie Ruggiero, Doug Hevron, Jeff Fuller, and 72 of Preston. Laps continue to tick away.
adjustment should be right on tonight.
Reggie, of course, a regular competitor here at this track on a weekly basis before the modified tour took over his full-time racing chores. Certainly knows his way around this half mile.
Tom Baldwin in the number 7 car
had won the Flemington race dating back June 20th. And then we go back to the reign of Jeff Fuller. Where it seemed that Fuller was virtually unbeatable.
It's amazing the small group of things that you can do to a car and a team to get that little edge. I mean, these guys are all professionals. They know how to work the cars, how to do the setup. It doesn't take much just to give them a little bit of advantage, either plus or minus. Fuller, who is a class guy also, and a real consistent driver,
got 4 laps on this one. CarQuest 150 into the final stages of this event. 15 laps remain as the leader crosses the start-finish line this time by. Not much more than a heat race for Reggie Ruggiero out of Forestville, Connecticut. The TJ Toyota sponsored race car. Great run for Doug Hempron here tonight in the Lembo, or car number 3. Jeff Fuller right at the head of the class again, running in the 3rd spot with the Sunoco Ultra car number 8. And probably the surprise of the night, and yet a very deserving position, is 4th spot for John Preston out of Wyalusing, Pennsylvania.
talk to them later on this week and see if we can find out what they do, and the next time we're here, we'll let you know.
140 laps this time by. 10 remain to be run for the man they call the Reg. Reggie Ruggiero with 10 to go.
If you look over at the pit wall, you can see these guys wringing their hands. I'm not sure what that means.
Means I'm about as nervous as can be, and let's get this thing over with. Be a very popular win here tonight if Reggie can pull this one off. Tom Baldwin, second place point man, appears to be out of it as he retires number 7 into the infield.
Tough break. He was running well tonight.
Great comeback after that horrendous fire involving his hauler, the loss of virtually everything they own.
That's pretty devastating. You have to start from square one. All the little setup tools and adjustment bars, all the stuff that you make over the years, gone.
Well, Jamie and Jenny Hunt, the team owner, put the old nose to the grindstone, and they are back and running very, very well here tonight. 145 next time by into the final 5 circuits. And we'll count them down. Reggie Ruggiero, the race leader, off of turn 4, down across the stripe, picks up the 5 to go, signal from Billy Leda. 5 to go for the Reds. 5 to go for Doug Hempron, Jeff Fuller, and John Preston. Laps continue to tick away. Next time by, Reggie Ruggiero will find himself faced with a lot of traffic. And at this stage of the game, has to pick his way through there very cautiously. Up and around Tony Ferrante. Nice and clean. Next is Satch Worley. He slips right by on the outside. remain to be run. Final 2 circuits. Now the track is virtually blocked for a quick second. Reggie makes the proper move. Drops down underneath Bruce D'Alessandro. And this time by, it'll be the white flag. One more time around for Reggie Ruggiero to claim a win in this, the CarQuest 150 for the Winston Modified Tour here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Down the backstretch, 500 feet in length. A 550-foot front chute. Here he comes. And Reggie Ruggiero takes down the win. Doug Hebron will finish in the second spot. Jeff Fuller third. And John Preston. What a great, great run for John Preston here tonight. It will not be a long ride back to Pennsylvania as Preston, long list of wins and adds to his money won figure. Coming into tonight's race, $522,000 plus had gone to Reggie Ruggiero since the inception of the Modified Tour back in 1985, and Reg will add to that tonight with his share of this $42,000 package known as the CarQuest 150 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
This is extra sweet for him, too, because of the problems he had in the Sizzler earlier. And bounced right back. The crew tightened their act up. They won New Hampshire, and now they won here. And that's just, that speaks really well of everybody in their organization.
Reggie Ruggiero. Down there to greet the Reg is Barry Simons. And Reg not only has won tonight, but he has a guaranteed starting spot, the Race of Champions, and the Bud 200 at Oswego. Let's go trackside and Barry.
Thank you, Russ. What a pleasure to see you here, Reg.
Thank you. This is one of my favorite racetracks, Stafford. We used to run back in the 70s, early 80s here, run on Friday nights every night. Really enjoyed it. Then they had a little bit of, I don't know what happened, but they didn't have the modifieds. They started the SK class, and we come here only 4 or 5 times a year, and I just love the place. Love all the fans.
That's nice. A very popular win. You are very popular with the fans.
Yeah, it was a very good win. I owe all this win to my crew. They got me in and out of the pits. I was leading, came out second, but the guy who was leading never pitted, and the car was just flying tonight. And we're off a big win last week in New Hampshire. Come here to win 150 laps at Stafford and Riverside Park. We're going to Wednesday night.
It seemed in the last 20 laps or so that you were taking it easy, were you?
Yeah, the track was getting slick. The worst part of it, I couldn't see out the windshield. We have that bullet-type windshield, and it was all blurry, and a couple of times I cut corner number 1 pretty short, but I just couldn't see where I was going, so I just figured, the spotter was telling me I had a pretty good lead on second place, so I just took it easy.
Well, you stopped to ask the way, I know that.
Yeah, Stafford is probably have a lot of laps on this racetrack. I do myself, and that plays a big part in knowing how to pass and set up the race car.
Well, Reggie, a popular win, a lovely win, beautifully driven. Again, hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 150, Reggie Ruggiero. Well done, Reg. Back to you, Russ.
All right, Barry, thanks so much. And boy, oh boy, what a night it has been. A great, great night for Reggie and for so many members of the Winston Modified Tour. Again, another truly great event here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, the CarQuest 150.